You're watching the Central Television Network. The following program has been classified PG and parental guidance is recommended.
Welcome to your first BNS ball, James.
I'm as dry as a dead dingo's donger.
Let's go get a drink, Nick. 2 very long glasses of ice cold milk, please, mate. One glass of milk keeps me going all night.
Would you like to dance?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Milk. Are you getting any?
Put your foot down, Jace. We're late for the BNS, mate.
I'm trying to put my foot down, but there's something down here.
Will you stop kicking me, Buffy?
Stop whinging, Short Arse. You'll be in the back with a big fella. How you going, Gazy?
How much bloody further we got to go?
Yeah, fair way yet, mate. Hey, this is Troy Cassidy. Crank it up, Damien.
All right, mate.
Well, all through the week, my mind's in a daze. From breakfast to dinner, it's the same every day. And I punch in my card and pick up my check. And just when I think that life's a pain in the neck, but I go get my girl and I come to life. We'll paint the town red, 'cause it's Wednesday night. Woo!
G'day everybody, Troy Dan here. We're saddling up at the Empire for the final show of the year. And what better way to do it than with live and kicking BNS ball. Please welcome our very own bachelors, Jason Dunstall, Doug Hawkins, Damien Oliver, and Andrew Gaze.
Well, all through the week, my mind's in a daze. From breakfast to dinner, it's the same every day. And I punch in my card and pick up my check. And just when I think that life's a pain in the neck, but I go get my girl and I come to life. We'll paint the town red, 'cause it's Wednesday night. Wednesday night and I'm in the clear. There's smiles all around because the weekend's here. We'll hit the town and we'll do it right. We're gonna have a good time 'cause it's Wednesday night. We'll have a good time because it's Wednesday night. Woo-hoo.
Show for the year down here at the Empire. What a year it's been. And Dougie, we're going to finish it off with an absolute rule. We're having a BNS ball to top it off.
BNS ball, Bungie. All I know about a BNS ball is you have a few drinks, you go to a big tent or a shed, you have a few more drinks, you have a few more drinks, and when you poleaxe, you fall over, stay there, you wake up in the morning, a few more drinks, that's the way you finish off.
Well, it didn't quite start out, though. It actually started out as a, well, a friendly dance, if you like, between single farmers and the spinsters to see if you could hook up together.
Yep.
But somewhere along the line, it turned into an outback orgy. Now,
had a bit of luck.
We can't promise any orgies, but we have got a huge show coming up tonight. We'll be talking to James Hird in Ireland as the boys prepare for the tests over there against the Irish.
Jimmy.
That should be big. We'll also talk basketball with champion basketballers Tony Ronaldson and Michelle Timms. Also, Vicar and Linda come in to sing for us. That'll be enormous. And And if you were watching last week, you'd know that we've got a fantastic SK50 Dio signed by Michael Doohan. That makes it almost invaluable, doesn't it, to give away. So listen out and you'll find out how to win that a little bit later on. Well, let's meet our two sensational panellists tonight, two guest panellists. We have got, well, one of them, he's the superstar of Australian basketball. He's won a couple of championships with the Tigers, 7 times MVP of the NBL. Put your hands together for the big fella, Andrew Gay. Well, Drewy, the season kicks off Saturday night, mate. You've got a big one to start it all off. You're looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much so, against the new team, the Titans, at Melbourne Park. So hopefully the Tigers can kick the season off the right way.
All right, we'll have a chat about the new season a little bit later on. And to go from the tall to the short, well, short in stature, but certainly not short in reputation. He's a champion jockey. He's won 3 Caulfield Cups, a Melbourne Cup, a Cox Plate, and I think about 34 Group 1 victories. Put your hands together for Damien Oliver. Yeah, Damien, it's a pretty exciting time of the year, mate. Spring Carnival.
Very exciting, Jace. After you're treading all over me in that ute, it's good to be here.
Looking forward to having a bit of a chat about the racing later on. Now, what about the introduction we received? He's the superstar of Australian country music, Mr. Troy Cassar-Daley. Good on you, Troy. And congratulations to Troy, whose second album, True Believer, is about to go gold. So
Fantastic
it's not a bad
performance.
effort, if you don't mind. And, of course, what about the man that introduced us? He's got his own show on TV, The Outback Adventures. Put your hands together for our guest announcer, Mr. Troy Dan.
I love it.
And we might even put Troy to the test a little bit later on, I think, Dougie.
Yeah,
Now, he'll
we
keep
might.
his shirt on just for the moment, if you don't mind. Now, plenty of action happening footy-wise, even though the season's over. It is trading time. Of course, the deadline next week, I think it is. There's a few moves afoot. Now, we know that Tony Modra has signed a deal to go over and play with the Dockers.
I think it's a great move, Jace, particularly now he's missed 2 grand finals with, of course, the Adelaide Crows. And, of course, he loves doing a bit of surfing, Damien, like yourself. And, of course, him going over the Freo, Damien, you must make him a life member of your hotel. You got a hotel over there somewhere
Yes,
in WA?
Dougie.
Is that in Manning or where's that?
Yeah, the Mount Henry Tavern. In there,
quick plug there.
interested in that with a couple of friends of mine. He's always welcome there, Tony is. But Scott Cummings, a mate of mine, I don't know if we'll let him in there too often. He's moving over to West Coast Eagles.
He
so
swapped with Jared Schofield.
He's barred
There's
from the
another
pub.
change.
Yep.
So there's plenty of moves afoot. Also, Adam Huskus has been mentioned in a few. He could go to Sydney, he could go to Brisbane. I think we've got Chad Rintoul and also Clay Sampson
yeah,
coming
Jace.
from both premiership players with the Crows in '97, heading over to Collingwood.
Yeah, and young Ben Holland may be leaving Richmond to go to Adelaide.
Go back to the Crows.
Which would be a big blow to the Tigers. They've worked very hard on that young fellow over the last 3 or 4 years.
And Sav Rocker, still a question mark there, although it looks like he might stay at Collingwood now.
Well, I don't know about that, Jace. I think Collingwood should keep him there. And, of course, tomorrow is a deadline at 2 p.m. So cut-off time will be tomorrow at 2 p.m.
And the other thing to note about all these moves, I'll tell you what, there's some big figures being bandied around, some huge contracts going through. And the one thing they have to remember, Dougie,
What's that,
you get
Joe?
paid big dollars, you get to carry a bit of baggage with it too, don't
Well, mate, you must perform. I mean, a lot of these young guys now on good money. And, of course, as you did say, Jace, you must perform doing that money.
And the other big one that might be happening, possible swap between Richmond and Melbourne. Wayne Campbell and David Schwartz.
Well, I think David Schwartz should stay, Jace. He's come back. He's had a bad knee injury over the last probably 2 or 3 seasons. This year he got back to some good football. I'd love to see David Schwartz stay at the Melbourne club.
Now, Gazy, how hard is it to swap clubs in the NBL? Is it easy to change clubs?
At the end of the season, there's a bit of trading, but it's free agency. Once players are after their contracts are finished, they're pretty much free to negotiate with whoever they want. There's not so much of the trading between clubs and clubs. That really doesn't go on.
So you just hang out and sell yourself to the highest bidder. Fantastic. Great to see basketball's got good ethics, mate. Now, suspension, we know, is a big part of footy. It's an even bigger part of horse racing. And one man who's, well, it's a tragic time to be suspended. It's costing him plenty. Damien, what happened, mate?
Mate, well, I thought I was a bit harshly done by that. I thought the penalty was a bit long, and, with my clean-cut reputation and that, I thought, I could get one day knocked off and get back to the 1,000 guineas, but unfortunately I didn't.
Didn't you belt a jockey? Jace, didn't you give a jockey a bit of a clip as you went past?
I'll give you a clip.
Well, I tell you what, you're trying to tell us
Think
there
it's
wasn't
on the
much in it, mate, but this is the real reason why Damien Oliver got suspended.
I got you, pretty boy. I don't think so, Hutchie. You want to do better than that, son? How's this? Stewards!
Well, I think we've all seen some interesting tactics by jockeys, but not quite going to that extreme, mate. I think, well, you come back on Caulfield Cup Day, don't you?
That's right, I'm riding the English horse, Faithful Son. So I can't stay up too late tonight, mate. I've got to go and work him in the morning.
Have you seen the horse yet, Jamie? Have you looked at the horse yet?
Yeah, I had a look at him this morning. He's had a little bit of a hoof problem, but he seems to be getting over that. And
is he in quarantine still, or is he...
Just finished quarantine, but we're quietly confident he can run well in the Caulfield Cup and then the Melbourne Cup.
All right, plenty of racing happening at the moment. Of course, night racing has been introduced to Moonee Valley, and that is an absolute huge thing happening out there. We've set up our own big race out at Moonee Valley tonight, and to take us through it, let's go out there and talk to Bruce McAvaney.
Yes.
How you going, Bruce?
Yes, good, thanks, Jace. It's going to be fantastic out here at Moonee Valley. The Live and Kicking Cup, it's going to be sensational. And, of course, since the footy's finished, I've been going out and having plenty of beers. I've had 35 Carlton Colds, 22 VBs, and plenty of Foster's Special. But the Live and Kicking Cup's going on out here at Moonee Valley as we speak, and two legends of racing are here tonight. Peter Hutchison, how are you, mate?
Bruce, it's sensational to be here.
Of course, Hutchie winning on Fra the Caulfield Cup in 1993, and tonight he's riding Sub-Zero, the 1992 Melbourne Cup winner. How do you think you'll go tonight, Hutchie?
Bruce, me on a Melbourne Cup winner, I'm an absolute living certainty.
Yes, you're going to be very hard to beat. Sub-Zero, you've had a fantastic, well, career, I suppose. How do you think you'll go? Do you think you'll win? Obviously, they're not there. Sub-Zero thinks, yes, a fantastic area. And what a horse Sub-Zero is. A sensational horse, Sub-Zero. Hutchie thinks he's got a lot of chance. But, of course, to take on Hutchie is Geelong's very own Gary Hocking. And, Buddha, how do you think you'll go tonight, mate? You're up against some tough opposition.
Yeah, Bruce, I think I'm a chance tonight. The conditions really suit me. Wet, heavy track. I think I'll revel in it.
Actually, I think you're probably one of the slowest footballers going around in the AFL. Why don't they get Ronnie Burns or Riccardi, someone else like that, down?
Well, they're on the footy trip, so I've filled in for them tonight. I'm going to show a little bit of zip early.
They're away drinking as many beers as I've already had since the season's finished. It's going to be huge out here. We want members of the public to get down here to Moonee Valley. You've got a chance to win a fantastic prize. You're up against some fantastic opposition. The prize you could win. Last week we saw it on Live and Kicking, that fantastic motor vehicle, the Honda scooter, signed by our very own Mick Doohan. Get down here to Moonee Valley. We're getting very excited. Come on down. You've got the chance to win the fantastic prizes. Many prizes to be given away against Hutchie on Sub-Zero and Geelong's Gary Hocking. Chase, it's going to be special.
Good on you, Bruce, and of course we'll be heading back out there a little bit later on now. If you're serious and you think you can run, you've got about 30 to 45 minutes to get down to Moonee Valley. It's a handicap system. We'll pick one lucky viewer to race against both Gary Hocking and Sub-Zero. And if you happen to make it to the line first, you'll pick up the fantastic Honda SK50DO signed by Michael Doohan. As we said, a handicap system. So I think Sub-Zero will be giving him a big start, but he'll be getting home hard.
He'll fly home. Who are you tipping, Damien, in that race? Sub-Zero or Gary Hocking?
I put my reputation on the line when I took you on in the final furlong horses.
Yeah, that's correct.
If Hutchie gets beat here,
yep,
he's got to put something up. I reckon he should be handing his licence in with Sub-Zero.
And of course, the viewer that does go down and get picked to go in the race will he'll start off the front. Although I think we should just about give Gary Hocking the front marker.
I reckon Gary, yeah, the mud might suit him, but Jace, he might revel in that condition.
All right, get down there quick and you could be the winner. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to James Hurd in Ireland. But before we go, here's a little more from our local milkman.
Welcome to your first PNS ball, James.
I must ride the dead dingo's donger.
Let's go get a drink, Mick. One glass of milk and I can go all night.
These guys are dorks. Those polar bears sure know how to have a good time.
Check out the paws on that chick. You slept in the back of the ute tonight, so right. You'll never score at a BNS if you drink milk.